right, so today we're going to be talking about division, and I really like this meme that Mr. Hoffman put on there. Hopefully you guys know what movie this is from. I don't even like these movies, and I know what movie that was.
Star Wars.
From Star Wars.
You have to be loud, they can't hear very well.
I'll be loud. Okay, can someone read our goal for today?
Ania's hand was up first.
Ania, go for it.
Our goal is to be able to use partitioning to solve division problems.
Good job with that word. You got it right. Okay, so here we're talking about the parts of a division problem. Like when we were talking about multiplication, they had names. They also have names in division. So the dividend, which is kind of a tricky word, the dividend is the number that you start with. It's the total. It's the big one. The number to be divided. It says that. It's right here. Okay, the number to be divided. And then the divisor is the number you're going to divide by, the number by which to divide. Easier way to say that, number to divide by. And then the quotient is the answer, okay? So right here, quotient is the answer. So in this example problem, our dividend is 16, our divisor is 2, and the answer, or the quotient, is 8, okay? And we are going to be using that chart we've been using before to kind of help us get that, okay? So what does it mean when we say we're going to partition a division equation? Because that is an interesting kind of word that you guys probably haven't heard before. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make groups, kind of like we did with multiplication. So my divisor right here is 2. So that means I can make groups. I can turn 16 into 2 equal groups, or I can put 2 in each group. So we're going to start with 2 groups. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do circles and dots like I did with multiplication. So I'm going to equally divide 16 into 2 groups. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that was a line, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, who can tell me how many is in each group? Jay, how many are in each group?
8.
Exactly. So we can do it this way by starting with 2 groups and dividing our big number to equal 2 groups, or we can put 2 in each group. So I'll say 2, 1 group. That looks a little funny, but it's a circle. 2, another group. So far I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
Sorry, I had to let them in.
That's 2 dots. Okay, so putting 2 in each group, I got how many groups? Kayla, how many groups did I get?
Jose, you're doing well too? Yep.
7.
Chloe's doing well.
Not 7, we got 8.
We have 6 of you.
Okay, so these are our 2 different ways to do it. And Kayla, you were super close. We've got 8 groups. It kind of looks a little funny because my little marker messed up there for a second, but we have 8 groups. So looking at the first way we did it, okay, right here is what we're looking at. We separated it into 2 groups. Where are my numbers in here? So what is 16? Where do you see the 16 in here?
I'm just gonna call on somebody. A seal. Where do you see the 16 represented in that first drawing?
I see the 16 in the circle,
In just one of the circles or both of the circles?
both of them.
Yep, that's the total number of dots we have all together. We have 16 dots total. Where do we see, Clay, where do we see the 2 in this diagram right here? Where's the 2?
Right there.
You gotta tell me. So the 16 is all the little dots, all of them. What's the 2?
The 2 groups.
Yep, the 2 groups, these 2 circles, 1, 2. So that's where I got my 2 from. My 16 is the total number of dots. Now, where's my 8? This one might be a little bit trickier because it's not as obvious. Where's my 8? Eric,
Okay, what?
where's my 8 in this diagram that I made? We found the 16, which is the total number of dots. 2 is the number of groups. What about my 8?
I think 2 equal group.
So my 8 is my number of dots per group. So this group has 8. So does this group. Okay? So that's
Okay.
8 in each group because I divided 16 equally into 2 groups and I got 8. Okay, it looks a little different when we do it on this side. Okay? So where's my 16 on this side? Ania, where's my 16 on this side?
On that side,
That I just pointed with my little pink arrow. So when we put 2 in each group, where do we get that 16?
together.
What did you say? You cut out.
The 2 in each group is 16 together.
Yep. So adding up all of these dots in here, that equals 16. So it's kind of like what we did in the first part. That's our big number we're starting with, and we divided it equally, 2 in each group, okay? Where's my 8 in this problem? Henry, where's my 8 in this problem?
The 8 is in the 2 in each group of the circles.
So 8 is the number of groups I have. I think that's what you're saying, just kind of using different words. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have 8 groups. When we make 2 in each group, we get 8 groups total, okay? And then this one should be pretty easy. Our 2, the 2 over here is the 2 in each group, okay? So before it was 2 groups, and this one it's 2 in each group. So that's where all of our numbers are coming from, and it might still be a little confusing, but we're gonna do a few examples that will help you understand it a bit better. Okay, here's the chart I was talking about. That chart's gonna come back. So this is another way we can kind of visualize or look at the problem. So we have 24 divided by 6 equals something, okay? So our number of groups or objects per group, in multiplication, we kind of knew those already. But right now, hold on, we'll start with our total. What's our big number? It's right there. Someone unmute and say it. What's our big number?
24.
24.
24.
So that's
24.
What's the mathematical term for the total? What do we call that big number being divided? Anybody remember from the very beginning?
Dividend.
Dividend, very good.
Isn't it the divisor?
No,
It's a
dividend.
dividend.
Divisor is the one it's being divided by.
So 24.
Sorry, I thought that's what you.
That's all right. I kind of switched gears for a little bit, for a second. So then our divisor. For this, when it is not a word problem, so this is not a word problem, this is just an equation. The divisor can go in either one of these spots. Okay? When it is not a word problem, the divisor can go in either one of these spots. CJ, what did I just say?
When it's not, am I unmuted? Oh, there we go. Okay, when it's not the divisor, it can go in either spots.
When it's not a word problem. When it is not a word problem, the divisor can go in either spot. Okay, so I'm gonna put it in the number of groups, okay? So is there,
I think so.
okay, so you guys, we're gonna do this together, okay? So I said 6 was my number of groups. So I'm gonna draw 6 circles.
So everybody grab your whiteboard or a paper and pencil that's sitting next to you and draw 6 circles with us right now. Let's just say everybody on their camera grab either the whiteboard marker or pencil and paper to draw the 6 circles.
And give me a thumbs up when you've drawn those 6 circles so I know that you did it. All right, Cynthia gave me a thumbs up. Thank you, Cynthia. Jay gave me a
Done.
Thank you, Eric. Mrs. Fleischer did it. Henry gave me a thumbs up. Clay gave me a thumbs up. All right, 10 more seconds. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So that's where my 6 is coming from. I made 6 groups. What am I gonna do next? The only other number I have is 24. What am I gonna do with this 24? Someone raise their hand and tell me. Ania, what am I gonna do with this 24?
You're just gonna leave that 24 right there first, and then you're gonna first you're gonna do the 24 like times 6, and then you could put the 24 in each circle. 24 in each circle.
Okay, so not 24 in each circle, kind of flip-flopping what you're saying. We're gonna divide the 24. So this 24, we could draw that out into 24 different dots. Blah, 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 blah. I'm not gonna do that right here. But when we do that in the circles, that's when we're dividing evenly. So it would be, we gotta give this circle 1, this circle 1, this circle 1, this one, this one, and this one. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 so far. I need to keep going evenly till I get to 24. So 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So did I add or take away any of my dots? Just shake your head, yes or no. Did I add or take away anything? I did not change this 24. That is still the same. I just divided it evenly among these groups. So, Denise, what is my quotient going to be? What's my answer going to be? divided 24 into 6 groups, and I got how many per group?
That's hard.
4.
Jay's hand is up.
Yes, whoever just said 4. Yes. So that's going to go in the only empty spot I have left. 4. So I had 4 objects per group. I divided 24 into 6 groups. 4 per group, okay? So I'm going to get you guys started on this next one, and you're going to do it on your own. Okay? So it might be helpful for us. I'm going to just go ahead and draw this chart. What's our total? Someone just unmute and say it. What's our total?
36.
36. Okay. And then we have number of groups. And then objects per group. So sorry for my handwriting. Okay, and CJ, what did I say about these boxes? When it's not a word problem, what can I do with this for?
It can go in either one.
Yes, it can go in either one, okay?
So to clarify what Miss Weibel means by that is it's up to you when you don't have this, when this isn't a word problem, a story problem, you can decide what is easier for you. You can decide I want to solve it by making 4 groups and then partitioning them evenly, or you can decide I'm going to put 4 in a group and figure out how many groups that makes. So it's up to you. It's your decision on how to solve it. You can pick either way. Just to clarify what she means by that a little bit.
Okay, I'm gonna give you guys like 2 minutes, 2 or 3 minutes to do this.
We're going to come back and share what you did to solve it, how you solved it on your own. You guys got 1 more minute, 1 minute left. I like how Ania's giving us a thumbs up to show that she's got hers finished.
Okay, guys, we're gonna come back together and I'm gonna hear how you guys solve this problem. So who would like to share how they solved this problem? Raise your hand. Asil, all right. Did you put 4 in the number of groups or the object per group?
Number of groups.
Number of groups. Okay, now talk me through what you did.
Okay, so I didn't do like the circle thing, but I got the answer. I just kept on thinking what what number would it be to take you like to 36 because it's close to 40, so I thought it would be close to 40, so I put like big numbers. First I tried 8, I tried 7, and I tried 9, and the answer I got was 9.
So
Okay.
did you skip count a seal, do you think maybe? Were you like 4, 8, like from 4? Or did you, like when you say that you tried numbers, like you tried the multiples of it?
Yeah.
Okay, so you started with 4 groups. So why don't we go ahead and draw 4 groups, and then we'll see, because you used multiplication, and you should be ready to share that on Wednesday, because that's what our lesson is going to be about on Wednesday. But for now, we want to try to be a little less confusing to people. Okay, that's awesome that you know how to use that strategy, but we're looking at partitioning today. Okay, so if you want to answer questions that way on your own, that's fine, because we know you understand that strategy. But we're going to kind of go with the drawings today to help some folks out. So Asil started us with 4 groups. Is there anybody who can take us the rest of the way from here and tell us what we need to do now that we have our 4 groups drawn? Somebody besides Ania. I love
I
you.
know, I see the same hands up every time. Somebody else other than Asil, Ania, and even Jay's hand's been up a few times.
So why don't you see here?
I see Corbin's hand is up.
Corbin, go for it. What do we need to do from here?
You need to put 9 in each groups.
Okay, so you know that now, but we can't just start by putting 9 in each group, right? Because we probably know that now after you did it. But if you were doing it for the first time, we would probably have to count all the way up to 36 by putting 1 in each group. So I'll let Miss Weibel talk us through that.
Okay, so you're right, but we've got to start by doing it evenly, and you can't just guess when you're doing it evenly. So I'm going to count all the way up to 36, putting 1 in each. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. Okay? So I counted, giving each group 1 at a time, all the way up to 36. It did not take that long. It doesn't take that long. And I have how many in each group? Corbin told us that we have 9 in each group. So that's going to go right here. All right. So that's making it into 4 groups. And also what we can do, did anyone do 9 groups? 4 objects per group.
Raise your hand if you're somebody who started out by putting 4 in each group instead of making 4 groups. Did anybody do it that way, where you put 4 objects per group? Clay, you did? Was your hand up, or you just putting your hand up? Are you?
No, my hand is not up.
Okay. So Ms. Weibel will talk through what that would have looked like, because it's also a good strategy.
Okay, so here's what this would have looked like if you said, so before we knew that 9 was the answer, you said, you know what, I'm going to put 4 per group because that's easier for me. So you would draw 4, that's 1 group. Another 4, group. And all the way up till 36. So I have 12 so far. 16, 20, 24, 28, 32. Okay, so I separated them into four per group, and then that would give me, I would count my number of groups to find my missing number. So that would be our missing number. And if I count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, that would be 9 groups. And then that would be my quotient or my answer. Okay? So we have one more to practice. This one's all you guys. Okay, I'm gonna give you guys 3 minutes to do this. And then we're gonna have people explain how they got it.
And it's important to remind y'all, your groups have to be equal, right? So when we're dividing numbers and finding a quotient, your groups need to be equal. If the groups are not equal, it doesn't work. So we're not going to make the chart for you this time. We want you to try to do it all on your own, and then we'll come back together, talk through the chart and your responses. This is the last one before you get to go work on your own today.
You guys have about 1 more minute. Okay, so we are going to make the chart, talk about that.
I clicked on the shape. Sorry, my fault. This is what happens when you got two cooks in the kitchen. I clicked on the shapes and I messed it up. There we go.
Okay. We're gonna make this chart. What's our total? Someone unmute and tell me, what's our total?
48.
48. Perfect number, that's our total.
All right, and we are not calling on Ania. We are not calling on Corbin. We are not calling on Asil. We are not calling on Jay. Somebody else got to step up to the plate here and tell us how they solved this one.
All right, so who wants to go for it and tell me how you solved this? I'm gonna label the rest of our chart. You're gonna talk to us about the chart. Mr. Hoffman's just gonna call on someone if no one raises their hand.
CJ.
All right, CJ. CJ, what did you do with your 6? Where did you put it in the chart?
I did the 6 circles.
So that would be number of groups. So you made 6 groups, right?
Yes.
Hold on, I'm changing my color so it doesn't get too confusing.
So while Miss Weibel's setting this up, somebody besides CJ, you clicked on the arrow, yeah. Somebody besides CJ, if CJ already knows if he's starting with 6 groups, what is CJ trying to figure out to get the quotient? What is CJ trying to figure out? What's the quotient? What's he trying to figure out? If he knows there's 48 total, that's the edge of the thing. If he knows there's 48 total and he has 6 groups, what's he trying to figure out, y'all? Michael, what's he trying to figure out?
I think he's trying to figure out. I know it, but I can't just figure it out.
Okay, but what's he trying to solve for? Is he trying to figure out how many groups there are?
Yes.
We already know he has 6 groups. What's the empty spot on our chart?
Denise, what's the empty spot on our chart? Where is
I know.
still
I
blank?
can't hear.
It's okay. We're gonna let Denise do it. Denise, what's the empty spot on the chart that we still haven't figured out yet?
The object group.
Yep, the objects per group. We're trying to figure out how many objects there are per group. All right, CJ, now go ahead. We've got our 6 circles. Talk us through what we need to do to figure out the number of objects per group.
I put 1 dot in each circle till I got to 48.
So did you count when you put 1 dot in each circle? Were you counting the whole time, like 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to 48?
Yes.
Okay. So it might seem like a long process, y'all, but that's how you're going to get the correct answer. So we come up with some other strategies we're going to talk about throughout the week.
I have another strategy.
CJ, what'd you get? What was your number of objects per group you ended up with?
8.
Yep. That's right. So we would end up with 8 objects per group. So we would say our answer is 8. What's another word for answer in a division problem?
Quotient.
Quotient. Very good.
There's also another way to figure this out.
We're going to let somebody else have it get a chance. Somebody besides CJ, is there anybody who did it a different way, who did not start with 6 groups? Asil, are you about to tell us of how you use multiplication, or did you put 6 in each group?
I put 6 in each group, and I put eights were the groups, and the dots were 6.
Okay, so hang on. So we're gonna go back on Asil. We're gonna leave CJ's over there, and Asil started with 6 per group, and I'm gonna let Miss Weibel go through the strategy with you from here. So talk us through it, nice and loud, because you're hard to hear. You're pretty quiet.
Tell me what to do on here. Tell me what you did.
So talk us through, Asil. How should Miss Weibel show what you did? Tell us exactly how she should do it.
Okay, so I put the 6 in the 8 groups. Then I just counted all of them, and I got 48, and that means it was 6 times 8. 8 plus 6 times 8 equals.
Okay, so what you would do in this strategy is you're going to put 6 in each group and figure out how many groups that is. So I'm going to start by drawing 6 dots. There's 6. That's one group.
All the way up.
Another 6.
So now that's 12. We're going to do 6 in each group all the way to 48.
So I'm at 18. 24.
I'll move it. Sorry, Zoom has got a little, you guys can't see it, but the little thing's in the way. There we go.
And then another 6 is going to be 30. 36. 42. 48. And then I count my number of groups I got, and that would be 8. Okay? So that's how you would do it, putting 6 objects per group. All right? So next we're going to talk about your job today.
Maybe.
Okay, so your job is to do the assignment that's on Canvas, which is solving simple division problems, and to do 2 Dreambox lessons.
So I'm going to have you, Miss Weibel, I'm pulling it up, but I'm going to have Miss Weibel highlight these directions because I want to make sure we do what we need to do for math today, because a lot of people missed points on math last week because they didn't follow the directions that were highlighted in red.
Okay, so you are solving these using the methods we talked about today, and you need to explain in recording or typing, you need to explain how you got that answer. So I'm making up a number. If I got this number for right here, I would write that number and then I would explain how I got it. I'm not just going to write the number, I'm also going to explain it. There's 4 problems that you need to have the answers and your explanations for each one.
If you only put the answer, that's a 50%. And I'm going to be upfront with y'all, that's an F. So we had several people last week who got the correct answer on all 3 math problems and still got an F on the assignment because they did not follow the directions and explain how they did it. It's only 4 problems. All right, it's only 4 problems, so it should not take super long to get that done. So just make sure you're including your explanation on each one.